the description of today's presentation is really about Zoho Books and the accountant ecosystem we've developed over here at Zoho. But before I kind of get into that demo piece, I do want to lay some groundwork and housekeeping. We have a few slides in here just kind of explaining the Zoho ecosystem, Zoho Books, and the benefits of the Zoho, kind of just educating you about the solution. So, how Zoho Books empowers accountants to succeed is really what our job here at Zoho is, to help accountants become successful in the Zoho ecosystem. And we see a lot of areas of, we go to all these conferences around the United States, and we see a lot of opportunity for Zoho with clients and helping people go offering a lot more value to their clients. Before we get started into the meat of the presentation, here are a few housekeeping items. So this, whenever you're working in the Zoho webinar tool, at the bottom, you'll see a chat and you'll see a Q&A. Chat is where you just kind of tell us you can't see us, or if you want to tell us where you're located, tell us there. Q&A is where if you want a question answered, and we have our support team here to help answer any questions, and Val will also answer questions, and we can answer questions live at the end of the presentation as well. And we'll answer questions throughout. This will qualify for 1 CPE credit. In order to earn that CPE credit, if you require that, is you need to stay for at least 50 minutes, answer 3 out of the 4 polling questions, and complete the evaluation at the end. At the end, I will have a QR code for the evaluation, but it'll also pop up once I end the evaluation, but just to keep that clear. And I request that everybody fills out the evaluation. It's not just for CPAs requiring that CPE credit. It just allows us to improve our presentation. I'll go ahead and launch we'll go ahead and get started in introductions. Quick introduction. If you haven't met Val or myself before, my name is Nathan Rogerson. I am a part of the accountant development program here at Zoho. You can hear my voice a little raspy. My job is to really go out to and educate accountants about our solution. This week we were actually at an event, so my voice is a little raspy from that. I've been with Zoho for about 5 years, and I've been in the accounting tech industry, I guess over 10 years now, 11 over. It's been a while. So I have a lot of experience in accounting, not only in the tech side, but I used to be an accountant myself. So I know some of the pain points you guys are going through. And I have Val Steed here as well. He's a resident CPA. I have him really here to just keep me honest, but I'll let him introduce himself.
Good day, folks. Val Steed. I've been in the industry over 30 years. For those of you involved in Intuit stuff and you're frustrated, I am sincerely sorry. 25 years ago, I helped them create their Pro Advisor program, and I've been involved with them for many, many years. What I've seen with them in the past 10 years has been disappointing. I joined Zoho 5 years ago. I left my own firm, my own little consulting group, because I believe in the vision of where this is going. If you get a chance today or tomorrow, whenever, just reach out and connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm pretty easy to find. If you need to find me in any browser, all you have to do is just put my name, Val Steed. I've been out there and on the internet for so many years, it'll come up right away, so you'll be able to find me. But it's great to be here. I'm thrilled to see you here. We'll do our best to answer your questions today and show you what we believe is the best next direction for everyone involved in accounting.
Yeah, and then also, Val, I did want to point out, those QR codes go to our LinkedIn. So if you want to connect with us, just scan the QR code and you can connect with us there. And LinkedIn's a great place for quick communication with us. We'll put our emails in the chat, but if you do the LinkedIn path, I think we both respond a little quicker to that, just because it's like chat-based communication. So in today's webinar, we'll talk about who Zoho is, some key features of Zoho Books, picking the right tech stack, what it's like being out there trying to choose different solutions that can be in front of your face, accounting opportunities, and grow with Zoho. And I'll show you a demo of what that looks like, how you can utilize Zoho for your firm. So before we get started, let's just go ahead and launch the first poll. And then I'll get into here. I'm going to have to, Val, can you launch the poll actually? Or no? Here, I'll launch the first poll. Sorry, I got to back out real quick. So first question, what industry are you in? And this really just helps us, what industry are your clients? And this helps us navigate where we take the presentation, kind of tailor it to the audience a little bit. Professional services you guys work with. This past event, we were working with a lot of people in construction manufacturing. So we can always kind of go through there. And I'll go ahead and, so the majority of you guys helping people with professional services, or you're saying you're into professional service as well. Actually others. So if you're in the others, let us know in the chat what the others mean. And what's on. So let me go ahead and publish the results real quick. That's the first poll question. We'll have 3 more throughout the presentation. I'll stop and we can talk about it throughout the presentation. So I'll publish the results.
Those polls, folks, are optional for those of you who are not looking for CPE, continuing professional education for accountants. Those are designed for those accountants that need the CPE credit. We'd love to have everyone participate just for information, but don't panic if those aren't that important to you. For those that need CPE, I believe we have to have them do 3 out of 4, Nathan, is that right?
Yeah. In the beginning, I mentioned that, yeah.
And just one other comment too. I think I can launch the polls from here. We have a new interface on our webinar tools, folks. So Nathan and I are just kind of flying a little bit, a new machine here. So hang in there with us.
All right, well, great. So who is Zoho really? And if you don't know who we are, this will give you a big overview, but there's a lot of different pieces to Zoho, but we really like to tailor it to one area, one business unit as we kind of move forward. So Zoho is India-based, first unicorn tech business out of India. So we're a $1 billion revenue company. We have over 15,000 employees, over 100 million users worldwide. We're in over 190 countries as far as our user base. And I think that's pretty close to all the countries in the world. We have over 55 plus applications. This is where it can get a little overwhelming if you've never heard of Zoho, but the way we really operate, and one big piece is we've been around for over 25 years. So we didn't start just yesterday. We've been really building this, what we call a tech stack, for over 25 years. But as you can see right here is the finance platform we have at Zoho, which includes different applications. Today, we'll be mainly talking about Zoho Books and Practice. And actually, I have a new solution as well, Zoho Payroll, which I'll play a quick video on here in a second. But the way Zoho operates is we have all these different tools that are a la carte. You can go in here and just purchase Zoho Books. Your clients can just go with Zoho Books. But we also have this full holistic ecosystem as well, where it's an operating suite where clients can have our accounting solution, our inventory solution, expense. We even have more tools outside of finance like CRM, analytics tools, which I'll touch a little bit on analytics during the presentation. But it's a whole holistic suite of products where one login, you can jump in and out of all these different applications. But specifically, we like to just focus on 1 or 2 applications at a time because it can get a little bit overwhelming. So we want it to just be the a la carte version right now, but later actually in a month from now, we're doing a finance seminar where we're actually touching on what that suite could look like from a firm perspective for your clients. So here's an introduction to Zoho Payroll. This is actually something we just launched today.
We're talking about this with folks like you and our partners and others, and I believe it goes live to the rest of the world on 12/12, Nathan. I think that's what I got yesterday.
Okay.
So. But here's the thing, folks. For those of you that are really upset with Intuit Payroll, this will compete directly. This will have all 50 states electronic filing. This is going to be a really nice solution at a much better price coming to the market. And what we did here, I'll just be very honest with you to tell you what we did. This is a white label arrangement with a company that's already doing payroll for years. So this is not like raw product. This is a well done product. It's going to be a really nice solution for us.
Yeah. And it's natively synced to Zoho Books. So you're not going to have any of these connection issues with going with our payroll solution. It'll be built in right there. And I'll show you where it kind of sits in Zoho Books itself. But yeah, let's go ahead and dive into the key features of Zoho Books so we can get to that demo later in this session. So Zoho Books Essentials, right? Whenever you're looking for an accounting tool out there, you really want something. Obviously, you want the double entry accounting, you want your journal entries, you want to adjust your chart of accounts. But from our point of view in the cloud space, and as we get more and more advanced in technology and AI out there, you really want tools that can be more customizable. You want the key compliance, easy to use. You want it to scale with businesses, not only your business, but your clients' businesses, right? If you're scaling with a client's business, it allows you to stay connected with them and actually offer more solutions for them as they keep growing, which in return brings you more business, right? And I have a whole section on that later in the session. You want it to be affordable. You want it to be accessible, definitely in today's day and age where a lot of people work remote, and you want it to be compatible, compliant, communication as well. So before we get into the demo, this is just what Zoho looks like from the dashboard page, and I'll go into the full demo walking through the product. But it's important that your tool has a key compliance issues. We were actually at a sales tax event with Avalara. That's one of our key integrations. But with Zoho, you're able to keep track of all your sales tax needs within Zoho itself. And if you work with any of your clients outside of the US, we also are aware of the tax responsibilities over in those countries as well, like Canada and other regions across the world. And privacy is a huge deal for us here at Zoho. We are GDPR compliant, which means we don't share customer data. We don't share your customer data. It's your client. You're the one who talks to them. We don't reach out to the client unless we get verification from you. We can, and typically that's for support things. So if one of your clients comes to support, we'll actually talk to you guys before we start recommending certain solutions for them and beyond, right? So we want to involve you as much as we can with those clients. There's multi-factor authentication, password protection, and it's a very secure product. It's SOC 2 compliant as far as the security. So the whole 9 yards. And even though we're a private company, we're very serious about that SOC 2 compliance. And that's essentially the top compliance you could have here as a tech company. I don't think there's any tech companies that go above SOC 2. I think if you're above SOC 2, you're essentially a government entity. So scalability, we want a product that can scale with the business. We have different packages similar to other accounting solutions. We have our entry level, which starts at $15. We have our true AP, true R, which is $40 a month. And then we have the more customizable solution that is $60. But what's unique about these tools is it's not just accounting. As you grow and your company starts scaling up, they might be looking for an inventory tool, an expense management tool. So we allow those opportunities for not only your clients, but for you guys to offer those type of services. We have the right integrations in the right place. So we have all the payment gateways, we have the shipping gateways, we have the Dropbox, the documents. We also have communication. We have our own internal communication with Click, but you can even integrate with Slack and others. We have payroll. We have our own payroll, but we also integrate with other third parties. And a big thing for us is that Avalara integration with tax and tax 1099. It's important to have those up and running. If you're not using Avalara and you have a lot of sales tax needs, I'd recommend it. It's like using payroll. It just helps you automate that process, get it off your hands, and you'll never miss a deadline if you're using Avalara, that's for sure. And it'll get you the accurate tax number, so you're able to build the tax liability report and see the right numbers. It's important also with an accounting solution to have that customization. At Zoho, we allow custom fields. You have custom views, custom reports, see statuses. You can also customize, for example, this is a real use case, customize who an invoice is going to. So if you want to invoice to not only go to the owner, but like the accounts payable department, you could do so. You don't have to just send it to the owner. And we allow you to tailor that. You can also customize the user access, and it's a very great way to give people the access where that's the only place they need to be. If they don't need to see banks, you can take it away. If they only need to input an invoice or pay bills, you can do that. So a lot of customization within Zoho itself. And we also have open source API. So if you're familiar with that, you can really connect it to, not, there's no limitation if you're on that side. You're accessible, access, every application we have has an application, a phone app, and you can jump into the tool itself. Like expense management, it's awesome to have it on the phone. Zoho Books, you can create quotes on your phone, but you can access it from anywhere, a coffee shop, your house. It's all cloud-based, right? So you can really do it from anywhere and stay within your stay updated with your clients and so on. Here's an example of our expense management tool. Use a phone app. We have OCR scanning. You scan a receipt and it automatically will update and record that expense in our expense management tool. So it's a really neat feature. We use it every day. Just a little bit more about Zoho is all these tools you saw earlier, we use them internally. So we're actually using a webinar tool that's a Zoho webinar tool. We use our Zoho Expense. We use Zoho Books. We use all these tools internally. So you can kind of see it can be a small business tool with our pricing. It's so competitive, but also it can scale up and get to mid-market enterprise potentially, just depending on what type of company it is. So another important piece is our practice management solution, right? This is our accountant edition of Zoho Books, and this allows you to connect with your clients, have a centralized location for all your clients. You can have task management, facilitate real-time collaboration. And I'll show you what that looks like here in a second. Financial insights and so on. A very powerful tool. And I think high level, the biggest achievement of our accounting edition, not only can you delegate to your staff and say, hey, Mark, go and work with this client, and you give them access to that. You can collaborate with Mark as well directly in this practice management tool. So you don't have to communicate through email, through phone, or text. You can do it directly through this application. And that goes for your client as well. You communicate with them right in this application. You're not having to search down, hey, where did my client tell me about this fixed asset they had? Was it an email? Was it through text? Was it through a piece of paper they sent me? Where is it? You can have it all right there in our practice management piece. So I think the biggest piece of our account edition, obviously client management that's needed, task management and so on, but that collaboration piece really eases up some of your challenges. And just for example, whenever I first started in the accounting industry, I started to do a little bit on my own. Collaboration was probably my weakest point because I wasn't using a practice management solution at the time. And I got myself into a lot of situations where, not a lot, I mean, it was probably really honestly one that I can remember, but where I wasn't communicating properly. I gave them a $4,000 bill. They didn't want to pay it. And so if I was communicating in the beginning, maybe it would have been a little easier process to get that money from them. So in today's day and age, obviously it's tough, right? There's a lot of technology out there. There's a lot of accounting tools out there. How do you choose what to use? And how do you pick the right tech stack, right? At Woodard, if y'all ever go to Woodard, you can see that just through this example right here, I think they had over 150 sponsors at this event. So they had 150 booths at Woodard and Scaling New Heights. And how do you go and pick these tools? You have to go to each one, talk to each sales rep. They're all going to give you the same pitch and tell you how great their solution is. But how do you truly know what to do? And not only if you pick the right accounting tool, you have to see what integrates with that accounting tool. So there's so many pieces out there of what type of applications to use. Here's just an example of all the finance apps themselves, right? We have our accounting software, you have our payroll, your CRMs, and ERP solutions. How do you know if all these integrate to each other? And that's where we see a lot of value on the Zoho side, just because we have this whole tech stack built in to the Zoho ecosystem. So you really, in a lot of ways, if you go to G2, you can see, if you go to G2 top accounting tools, G2 top expense tools, G2 CRM, you'll see that we're really the top 25 for a lot of those different solutions, and everything is natively synced to each other. So one login, you're jumping in and out of all these different tools. It's very powerful, and it can be a great solution for even a small business, right? I mean, obviously it's a great solution for medium-sized business, but even for a small business where they're starting to, they probably have 10 different subscriptions. If you can kind of bundle that all into one subscription, it can be very powerful. And the limitation, as I was saying, limited integrations, limited customizations, limited mobile apps. If you're on the move all the time, you'll need something with the mobile app. You'll need the modern features of a modern accounting tool, and no collaboration between customer and vendors as well. So that's important to kind of look out for whenever you're looking for these type of tools, just high level. And you might want to take a screenshot of this and just say, hey, does this tool have integrations? Does this tool allow customizations? And I think a lot of this, if you put all of it, if you take away one piece at a time, it's not a huge deal. But whenever you're talking about the scalability with those clients, if you have all these pieces, it allows you to grow with that client. Even though it's an entry, it's a small business that just started, they don't have any revenue. They probably don't even need an accounting tool. They could just use Excel, right? But they won't be able to scale with it, just like with certain tools out there. If you don't have all these key components, you won't be able to scale up with that client as they're growing throughout their goals, right? Because at the end of the day, everybody wants to grow their business. And that's where we really see a lot of opportunity here in the accounting industry. If you're really evaluating that tech stack that's out there, you can find yourself in places for a lot of opportunity. A lot of the events we go to, we're seeing that clients are looking for more advisory type services, 85%, right? This is from Walter's Cooler. So there's a lot of opportunity where not only are they looking for accounting, but they're also looking for maybe analytics. They want someone to build a cash flow report or something, or they need advice picking a payroll tool. You probably already doing the payroll side, but even companies are going to their accountant for CRM tech. So there's a lot of opportunities there. 60% of the audience is looking for services outside of accounting, right? They're looking for the CRM, the analytics, and so on. 62% of the firms are utilizing technology to offer more services. That's what we're seeing too with a lot of our partners is they're actually picking piece of the Zoho ecosystem, not only for their clients, but they're using it internally to advance their services and automate as much as they can. That's where like client portals come into play. But we even have a custom creator tool where you can create a tool that's custom for your firm to advance your services as well. So, for example, on the technology piece, a lot of our accountants typically go towards the analytics side and they offer those analytics services to their clientele. So they're having internal white labeled analytics solution that they're giving to their clients. And it's can be very powerful and a stickier client too at the end of the day.
Folks, what I'm
So
hearing too, as Nathan's mentioning, what I'm hearing, I've been at a lot of CAS events recently where client accounting service, if you're not familiar with that term, firms or your bookkeepers helping clients, with accounting and also beyond. And one thing our suite allows you to do, it's really a powerful suite where you don't have to build the integrations. The integrations are done. So you can go on and do further down the road, projection work, future work, analytical work, as Nathan mentioned. This is big. What we offer you in this suite is a real easy way to get into that next level revenue, and your clients are going to be thrilled because that's where they want you. They need you to do the accounting. They want you out front doing the other stuff out front. So this is a great webinar to have you on to talk about that.
Yeah, and I do want to point out, Val, that's a good point because we are getting deeper into this type of conversation in this seminar, and it'll be a 2-day seminar. Each day will be around 4 hours where we're exploring, just like this presentation, where it's really just about the partner program and Zoho Books and how it looks for an accounting firm. There'll probably be a session similar to this on the seminar, but we're exploring analytics, we're exploring our payroll tool, our expense tool, Avalara, and all these powerful tech stack solutions that you could offer not only for your own firm, but for your clients. But the benefits of our partner program, we offer a very competitive partner benefits program where there's rev share, obviously, lifetime of the client. That's a big key component. You'll get rev share for the life of the client. There's priority accountant support. You'll be able to be listed on their Find Accountant page, have direct communication with Val and myself, networking opportunities as well. Every year we have a partner event where partners get together, they collaborate and network. A big piece of that is their CRM partners who are looking for accountants to help them with their Zoho Books clients because we have that full integrated suite. A CRM partner doesn't always necessarily have someone who can do the accounting work. And we have the special mention shout outs. That's a big piece in the collaboration with our partners. As you'll see in the seminar, we actually have some partners presenting on there. So it's a great place to just stay engaged with the community and grow in the Zoho ecosystem. And I will say a big thing, a big benefit and opportunity over here at Zoho is our customer base is outgrowing our partner base. So there's a lot of customers out there looking for the support. And I think Kathy was the one who mentioned earlier that she had or maybe it wasn't her, but someone mentioned that their client just has Zoho Books. That's growing more and more. We're hearing that more and more, and we want to make sure you guys are aware of the products and you have the tech stack on the partner side to help those clients. If you want to join the partner program, you can scan this QR code, but also I'll ask that question at the end of the webinar through a poll question to see if you're interested, and I'll email you directly. But yeah, so we are at the point where I want to go ahead and share my screen and do a demo. But before that, we'll go and launch another poll. So let's do that real quick. So what's your biggest challenge with your current accounting tech stack? High cost, big component. We're at these events and we hear people going to other solutions, and the accounting solution itself typically tends to be more expensive than the all-encompassing Zoho solution. So that's something to definitely consider whenever you're working with your clients. Limited functionality, yeah, it's a one app solution. Then you have to go find another app, and complex user interface. That has been one thing I've heard about Zoho compared to a lot of. I used to be in QuickBooks. I think QuickBooks is pretty easy to use as far as the customer base. But Zoho, we built these applications for the user's point of view. And so I think a lot of users come over to the Zoho book side and they actually tend to enjoy it more than other accounting solutions. They think it's more appropriate for them and easier to understand. And yeah, so I'll go ahead and start the piece where I go into the demo. Here's a Zoho Books dashboard. So whenever you log into Zoho Books, that's what you get. Even as an accountant, this is the main page for Zoho Books. I'll show you what it looks like on the accountant edition, but I just want you to kind of be familiar with Zoho Books itself. Dashboard shows you an overview of your receivables, your payables. We automatically put in a cash flow report. As you can see, my company is doing great, right? It's already having cash on hand over $2 million. So we like to see that. You can see your income expenses, your total expenses, just high level overview management stuff here. You can see your bank and credit cards, what's coming in, what's categorized, your projects as well, how many bills or unbillable hours you have for your projects, just high level stuff for your business or your client's business. On the left-hand side, you can see the navigation tab. What's great to understand about these pieces, it's similar to other cloud-based accounting tools, but every single one, if you go into items, for example, you can import to. So every single one of these tabs, you can import the necessary information if you're migrating over someone. But we also have migration tools. So if you're interested in migrating someone over from a legacy accounting tool, let me know. We can automate that process for you. But if you want to do it by hand, feel free to do that if you want. But import, all the tools are pretty similar. So if you go in here and click a new item, you can go in here and do goods and services, fill out all the information, the cost, the price, and so on. But if you go down here into sales, and let's just pick a quote, for example, it's a similar interface. So it's nothing, it's not a huge game changer whenever you're going into a quote versus item. Very similar package each time. One unique thing about our tool is our banking feature. We actually allow you to sync up to 3 different bank feeds. So you can use Plaid, Yodlee, or Token, I believe is the third one. But this allows to make sure that you have that correct bank feed information. All the bank transactions that are coming in will be uncategorized, but you can create rules to categorize those transactions to help clean up that workflow. You can reconcile your transactions, and you'll be able to see all that information here and create those rules for everything within those banks. So, for example, if you're going to Chick-fil-A all the time, you'll be able to see meals and entertainment. Very easy to use, very clean product. As you can see, you can connect with Plaid, Token, Yodlee. So it allows you 3 different opportunities. Plaid is the main solution that a lot of other accounting tools use. And also Venmo, for example, uses Plaid. And I believe majority of bank feed tools use Plaid. And there's really no limitation. If there ever is a limitation as far as like a credit union or something like that, let us know and we'll get with Plaid to make sure we can do that. On the sales side, as you can see, I have a lot of different tabs right here because I opted in to just allow every tab to come over. But you can really dumb this down for your clients. If you're using the basic edition of Zoho Book, you can take out quotes and really just have invoices and payments received. You don't have to have recurring invoices or quotes, sales orders, and all that information. A lot of this is added on here because I actually have our inventory tool automatically synced up. So I don't even have to leave Zoho Books to go into sales orders. I can just stay into Zoho Books. I don't have to go to the inventory tool. But we allow you to go through that full AP process if you want to. And invoicing tool, just like quotes, very easy to use. You can go in here and put in your information for your client. So for example, Meg Coffee is one of my clients. As you can see here, I have unbilled time that can go to her. And I can go and add all that time. And I'll just populate all the time that I put in our practice tool. And I can go from there. One thing to note is we have what we call tags. It's just like classes in QuickBooks. You're allowed to go in here and change the tag that it's going to. So for example, you can say what department, what location. And if you do that, this is completely customizable. You can do departments, locations, really whatever you want to call it. This adds additional reporting whenever you go into your P&L. You can build a P&L based off of department 1 or location 1. So you can offer that service to your clients to kind of keep track of certain classes or tags they need to keep track of. And one thing to note, I did mention customization. You can see salesperson right here. We actually added this automatically in invoices because we saw that people were creating this custom button all the time. So we just were like, hey, let's just go ahead and do it. If you have salespeople, you can just put in a sales rep who this would go to and allow special reporting here. But you can also do custom buttons for other things. Really, there's no limitation there. It's whatever you want to call it and label it. So it just adds more reporting. All your invoices that come in, you can receive those payments and it'll go to the payments received side. I have recurring invoices that are going out. So you just see overdue, overdue, overdue. But you can actually just click on invoice, record payment pretty easily. But you can also sync up to payment gateways. And I'll show you what that looks like here in a second. So very easy accounting tool to use. We also have the true workflows with approvals. You can need to get approval for a quote, approval for invoices before you send it or before you receive payment. So it allows you to customize the tool how your client's owner would want to see it for them specifically. If they don't care about the approval process, you can do that. But if they like the approval process for checks and balances, you can have that as well. Moving on to purchases, we separate your expenses from your bills. So your expenses would be something like it's a recurring expense like utilities or something, but bills could be like purchase order or other larger bills as well. And you can, all the bills that come through, receive payments, very similar to um, the invoices and quotes and items, similar interface. You can see your item detail, and it's a very clean tool to use for not only you, but for your clients. Moving on to time tracking. This is a important piece for project management. You can keep track of all your time, but you can also just do projects and see the time that's going to projects, purchases, your sales. You can do budgets per project and really see what's going on, even from a P&L perspective for project. You can pull a P&L report for a individual project to see how that job is doing itself. So I'll move on to the accountant, what the accountant space looks like. You can do your journal entries, your bulk updates, your tax payment, tax adjustments. Very clean interface, just like everything else. New journal. I actually don't have any journals in here, but you can go back and forth your debits and credits. Very clean. You can number them. It's a very crisp process. You can also do recurring journals, which I know a lot of you guys already do. If you want to do a template for payroll. Just create a template so your employees just know the right journal entry to put in for each payroll cycle that comes in. So you can just go ahead and do that, and it's a very clean process. I don't know if I have any. No, I don't think I had a template. But anyways, an important thing about Zoho is our customization with reports. With Zoho itself, we have over 50 reports. All these tools can be customized. All these reports can be customized. So for example, if you want to do monthly P&L, you can just go create that P&L, customize it, and have it ready to go. You can also schedule reports to go out. So if you do P&L reports every single month and you're tired of getting the PDF version of that and emailing it, you can have it scheduled to go out, be emailed to the right people, and it'll happen every single time at that month, at every week, every day, whatever you really want to see as far as scheduling. So you won't have to print those reports and send them out to your clients. As long as you're up to date. If you know on the 15th of every month, you'll have everything entered in for a client, you can do that. One big piece too is kind of what I was mentioning earlier about analytics is we have our analytics tool already integrated into Zoho Books if you have kind of that bundle, and you can create custom dashboards for yourself or for your clients. And this comes in handy big time. This allows you to offer a different type of value for your client. All of a sudden, you're charging someone $500 a month to $2,000 a month because you put together this custom CFO type analytics dashboard together for them. There's different ways you can manage this. You can just give them access to it, and they'll own the dashboard, or you can actually just share the dashboard with them and connect to your client's books account, so you own the dashboard because it's your service. So there's other ways you can do it, play around with it, but I think this is unique and a great solution for anyone who's starting to venture out into the controller type work or CFO style accounting out there. We have document management. We have PDF scanners for bank statements, and you can actually save all the documents right here into different folders. For example, I have my clients folders right here. It's a neat tool. It just allows you to stay in one place. You're not having to jump in and out. You know that all your clients' documents are in one place with your accounting solution, so you don't have to go into search for that file out there. We have Zoho Payments, which is new. It's our own payment gateway for AR payments, similar to Stripe and Square. Check that out for sure if you're interested in that full ecosystem. And now we have payroll. So before I move on to practice, do I have any questions, Val?
Yes, there was a couple of questions about where's the bank rec, and also a question about previous month profit loss. And then we also probably need to run a poll while you're looking to get into that.
Yeah. So the bank reconciliation, hold on one second. Yeah, let me go and run a poll real quick. Let me do that. Hold on. The polls go. What was the other question, Val?
Bank rec, previous month profit loss, just to be able to show them prior month profit loss from a financial. So I'd imagine what they're looking for is in the income statement, just how you can go back periods because we're completely date
Yeah.
sensitive.
You would just customize the
Customize
periods.
your report. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So not nothing crazy there. I think I showed that report itself. I unshared, but let me share my screen again.
Okay.
So my question was, how do you currently explore growth opportunities for your practice? Adding new service offerings, that's great, because I've been kind of touching on that before I even asked this poll question. There's a lot of opportunity within the Zoho, and leveraging partnerships with tech. Well, if you have others, let us know in the others. And Val, tell me what they're saying in the chat on the others. But as
Okay.
everyone's answering that poll, what I'll show, bank recs, just in your settings, reconcile account. I don't have any real information in here, so it's not really going to be able to reconcile out, but it's a very easy tool to use. You just put in the amount and go on. The reporting side, let's just do a P&L. You're able to really do date range, your accrual, and go into different type of periods and dive into your projects. Say, is empty, is in a certain project, and see what I was showing you a little earlier. But if you wanted to do the periods, you can customize it to say year to date, the past 6 months, and so on. So there's a lot of different cool features on there. And one thing to note about the periods is you can do the past 4 months, but actually have it show monthly P&Ls for those 4 months. So there's been a lot of advancement in our reporting. And if we don't have the report over here, guess what? Analytics. If you're doing stuff in Excel, you can create those reports in analytics and it'll just automatically be updating. So you won't have to really jump out of the solution and build that report month over month. You'll just automatically have that report ready to go.
Folks, in a prior life, I did a lot of this with clients. I was in public practice with a small firm, and we found the absolute best way to grow that practice if you want to. And that is simply go to your existing clients that you like. You don't do this with clients you don't like. But the clients you like and they're good for you, as you're having a conversation with them, maybe closing up some work, having lunch with them, playing golf, as you're closing that discussion up, just say, hey, do me a favor. If you like what we do, tell your friends. That's it. That's all you have to say. If you like what we do, tell your friends. Your practice will explode.
Yeah, the word of mouth is a huge piece for accounting firms, but also, it's funny. I just watched this episode of The Office. I think it's season 2, episode 4 or something. Whenever Ryan Howard is, I'll just explain it because I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen The Office. But Ryan Howard is going to business school, and Michael Scott and Dwight are making fun of him for it. And then Ryan asks Michael a question: is it easier to get a new client or keep and retain existing clients? And then the answer is retaining existing clients. But Michael, it was just funny. Michael said new. He just didn't answer because he just didn't know. But that kind of goes to Val's point as well. Whenever you're working with existing clients, don't be scared to offer new solutions for them because they're looking for those new services. Not everybody is, but I would say every conference we're going to, and we're going in these thought leader conferences, and these firms are talking about their clients looking for more and more services. That's why CAS, Client Accounting Services, is now a part of these top 100 accounting firms because they're noticing that clients want more than just tax auditing and all that just basic back end stuff. They're wanting more services from their accounting firms because you guys are their most trusted advisor. You're trusted more than their CRM advisors, their IT advisors. They give you guys everything. So just kind of keep that in mind. They're willing to pay for these type of services. You just have to make sure you understand your capabilities and what you can help them with as well. And that's where knowing about certain technology and the type of tools that are out there as well. So here's our practice management solution. This is our accountant edition. Management perspective, this is where you can manage and see your active clients, your engagements, your task breakdown, just high level management overview. But where the meat and potatoes are really is in your client section. This is where you go and access all your different clients. One thing to point out is I'm going to go back to Zoho Books real quick. If you're in Zoho Books, you can jump in and out of it. If you just need to focus on accounting, you can do that all through here. So I can go over to Meg Coffee right here. And this is my client. I can work in her account from here. But this edition allows you to dive a little bit deeper and see your client requests, the activity history, your pending task, see everything in one place. So you're not having to jump out of the Zoho Book solution and go find it. This allows you to stay here. You can see the profile. You can delegate to your staff. So you can see I have Mark assigned to this client. I can create tasks for this client directly in our practice management solution. So for example, you can go in here and do a one-off task, and you can actually bill based off of these tasks. Like I believe I created an invoice earlier with tasks I created, but you can create templates. I think this is powerful as far as like automation. Let's say you get a new client. Every single client, you have the same process for accounting cleanup. You create the template, you put it in there. Whenever these tasks are created, 92 through 95, you can see that I'm the manager, so I do the accounting analysis. Mark does the correction AJEs. Mark does the account catch up, and I do the account review. So you can automatically have those templates. It'll be associated to who it needs to be, and you can set the priority. I think this is a little one-sided, how I said my job is normal and then marks are high. So maybe I should adjust that, but you can even say the completion rate for it. So you can dive in, really see what's going on within the task. You can create subtasks for existing tasks, put in time, put in documents for these tasks, really stay up to date on what's going on within these tasks that you have for your clients. I don't think I could have said task another time in that quote, but so we have our insights. Here is high level overview, just like a dashboard for this client. You see your receivables, your payables, your cash flow analysis. This allows you to go up to your client knowing the account is ready to go for you to talk to them, and also kind of offer high level information to them as far as just quickly, if you know this client well, you'll know if they never have payables and then all of a sudden you see payables, you'll know something's going on, receivables and so on. If you see like an extraordinary amount of receivables, then you can have those type of conversations, your top expenses, your bank transactions, what's reconciled, what's not reconciled, expense summary reports, and the dormant account. So it allows you to just do a quick analysis. But kind of what I was talking about earlier, the best feature, I believe, in our practice management solution is our client request. This is where you communicate directly with your client and they can communicate directly with you. You do not have to leave our practice management solution to communicate with your client. And I think that's huge. You don't have to go through your text. You don't have to go through your email. It can be all done through here. And I'll show you two different ways you can communicate with your client. You can do this way, which is what I would consider like an email, but it would be directly in Zoho. Is you could have conversations with them about certain pieces or what you're seeing trends within their tool and create a client request so that they can respond back to you and tell you what's going on. So for example, I noticed over $20,000 in espresso machines and I need to know how many there are so I can create these fixed asset reports or something. And you can communicate directly through here and you can have quick communication about it, but this is the client request is how you keep track of it. You're able to know exactly what happened. So if Mark was communicating with this client, I would be able to see what Mark's talking about with John over here. Well, I guess it'd be Meg Coffee. It's just my Zoho Books email. But I would be able to see what's happening with Meg. So I wouldn't even have to talk to Mark about this. I can see the history and what's going on. Another big piece is discussions. Discussions is a place for you to have almost like a Slack conversation. Ours is called Click, a Slack competitors, Microsoft Teams or Slack. Um, these quick conversations like text where you would communicate with your client. For example, you can also edit the participants as well. So you can see here, here's 3 participants. I have Mark, me, and Meg. We can just have Q1 2024 cleanup conversation, just quick conversational communication right here as far as like meeting with them and that kind of stuff. We can have accounting one-off questions. Here is just between Mark and myself. So I can just have an open communication with Mark where he can just ask me questions about this account. We don't even have to involve Meg. This is actually a good piece so that if Mark is a new hire and he doesn't necessarily know what's going on, he can communicate with me and I can help him. So Meg doesn't think that we don't know what we're talking about because Mark can just communicate with me. I know accounting. Well, let's assume I'm a great at accounting and I could help out. And right here is open chat. So this would be a way you can communicate with your client to where if they just want to ask you questions, could be another service you offer them where you can just say you can have an open chat communication that you'll respond within 24 hours or something. So a great way to collaborate and communicate with your client and keep track of everything. Then also, if you're using Zoho Books for yourself and you're emailing your client, all these automated emails will just populate here. So if you're sending them invoices, quotes, and they're approving stuff, you can see it all right there. All those email correspondence with them. Another piece here, we're 10 minutes before time. So let me kind of, I think we're good on time. Another piece is keep track of all the documents, the bank feed information, any important government sales tax information, EIN, that kind of stuff. You can keep it all right here. So no one has to run around and look for these solutions in whatever drive or whose computer it's on. It can be all in the cloud and stored securely. You can also access Zoho Books directly through here. Very simple. If you need to create a new client, that's another piece about practice management. You can do it directly through practice. What this does, it actually adds you as an accountant. It's very powerful. So you can go ahead and get started on their Zoho Books account. You can create multiple for the same client. So say one client has 10 organizations, you can do that through here and associate the same email. It'll automatically create it. It'll create a trial account. You get access. You can start working on day one. And all your client has to do is just later accept it and pay for it, or you can actually manage it and pay for it yourself if you go that route, and you can get a discount on that. But you can put in all the information. You can go expense, payroll, inventory. Really, any Zoho finance solution is all right here. And once you do that, it'll populate. We also allow the opportunity for you to import other clients. So if you have QuickBooks clients, Xero clients, you can access it there. We are working on a webhook to those clients right now. It's you can just keep track of the tasks and the documents and communication with them. But that's high level Zoho practice. And if you guys are jumping into the solution for the first time, you can always book a meeting with us so we can walk you through it in a little bit more detail if you have any questions. Over here in the navigation tab, same tabs, but it's for all your clients. But you can always narrow down to the certain client it is. You can have your tasks, your time and tracking, your documents. These time and tracking is what you create those bills off of. So you can create log time and associate it to a client, a certain task, and then have the bill for it. And you can see the activity logs. So this is kind of the audit trail for your clients. So you can go in here and filter by certain clients and see exactly what's going on with Meg Coffee, see what Mark did, what I did, what Meg did, and see so everyone can stay honest and up to date, have your checks and balances. One thing I wanted to point out, though, kind of going back to Meg Coffee, is this is the way you see it, but let's see how Meg sees it real quick. So going over to Meg Coffee, here's Meg's Zoho Books account. Meg has 2 companies with Zoho Books. Meg can do the same thing you can do, but she only has access to her companies, even though you have access to both her companies and other clients. But where Meg would communicate with you would be over here in Accountant. So Meg would just click on My Accountant, be able to communicate on these client requests. But like I said, Meg will also see the chat up here. So I actually sent that chat earlier this morning. It'll pop up, open chat. This is where Meg can just communicate. It's at the bottom, and she can tell me whatever she wants, heart desired about accounting, or even about personal things if she wants, but I would keep that out of there. And so that's a great interface for her. If you're using Zoho Books for your firm, let's say you are. Let me go over here. If you're using Zoho Books, you're sending invoices, and this is your Zoho Books account. Let's see here. Did I create that quote? I think I created that quote. Meg can actually have a client portal. And this is where we can get into the tailoring Zoho to be for your firm, but also offering value-added services. So this is a client portal for Meg. Meg can see all the quotes, all the subscriptions if you're doing subscription-based billing, invoices that are out there. Meg can also share documents directly into this portal, so you won't have to receive them and then upload them. And you can edit who the contact individuals are and so on. For example, I have one quote right here. Meg can go look at that quote, enter in a comment, decline the quote. So everyone's on the same page. No one will not be on the same page if you're communicating this way. And really just have everything ready and available for not only you, but Meg and your clients as well. You can enter your payment gateway so they can pay directly through here if you're using Zoho Payments or Stripe or whatever. They can see the time, they can approve time. It's a great way to just be open and transparent with your clients. But I did want to add one thing here. We allow web tabs on this client portal. And kind of going back to what I was saying about analytics, how you can either just have analytics for them, or you can create a custom webhook white label kind of analytics solution. I put this webhook here. It's on her client portal. So if Meg were to leave me, she would lose access to this client dashboard. And right here is just the webhook to the dashboard, and she'll be able to see it on this client portal. She won't have to go in the reporting. A lot of times clients don't necessarily understand the accounting piece or going into the reports. So you can make it simple for them, put the dashboard right there for them and have it available. And you can put any webhook you want here. So if you're using other analytics tools, you can do that, or you can do it to payroll or anything else. So it's a great way to communicate, collaborate with your clients. And like I said, if you're doing it through practice, you're automatically set up as an accountant. So you're able to see me as an accountant right here. You're automatically set up as an admin accountant. And so is Mark, depending if you want to give Mark that access. So a lot of great functionalities in Zoho. Join us for the seminar. We're going to have some Zoho books as far as like customization, how to set up an organization, the custom rules, and so on. But today was really focused on accountants' perspective of using Zoho. What I have is 58. I got another slide I need to share with you guys as far as just staying in contact with us and survey, of course. But I appreciate everyone. I do have one more poll to launch. So here's a survey. Go ahead and QR code. Thank you for joining. I do have one more poll for everybody if you're looking for that here. So Val, do I have any questions I can answer real quick?
We've been taking a bunch of them. Let's see if any key ones come up here a little bit. There was one question I just hit back in the chat about, I've got a QuickBooks client. Can I set them up in practice? And can I also use the work drive support on the backside to support their documents and stuff? And from what I'd understood, I thought that was part of the next release, right? That's there for us.
Oh yeah, you can you can add those clients, but right now it's not a part of.
So they
You
don't get
won't be
work
able
drive
to jump
support for those
into
clients?
QuickBooks. So you can add import other clients. You can add a
Right.
QuickBooks client. You just won't be able to jump into that QuickBooks
You
account
can't
from here,
you
but
can't
you will
use
be
that
able to
amongst
have
their
the document.
QuickBooks, but they'll be able to use the work drive and document support for those clients, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I just want to make sure I got that right. Okay, yeah. All right. I think that was most all the key ones, folks. Have you done your final poll? Because we're right on time here.
Yeah, I just launched it. Yeah. So
Okay, I was just
the final
answering
poll just
questions.
yeah, it was just
Folks,
about
if
if
any of
you're
you for some reason missed a poll or something, just reach out to us and we'll try to make sure that you get your CPA credit. We are fully NASDAQ certified, and we really sincerely appreciate you being here today. Look, you want more information? Nathan has mentioned our finance seminar. We do multiple days in December. Nathan, why don't you tell them the date so I don't get that wrong?
it will be December 17th, I believe. Let me double check the
It's multiple
calendar.
days, right?
December 17th and 18th, and it'll be
Okay.
2-day seminar, and you can jump in and out, go to the sessions you want. There'll probably be one session similar to this one, just because we'll get a different audience in there. But that'll be the only one that's similar to this. All the other ones will be either product focused or thought leader focused. So, and Val has I put you on there twice, Val. So you got 2 sessions, but Val has a great CAS 3.0 that dives into analytics and why you'd want to start doing that for your clients. And then we also have a finance suite overview. We'll do a Zoho Books overview. So it'll be really educational for you guys. And yeah, so I'm going to go and end the session. If you didn't scan that, go ahead and scan it, but also it'll pop up for you. Please fill out the survey. We appreciate everybody joining and being a part of this this webinar. And we'll look forward to seeing you guys in a month or so. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay.